Hey BooTube, this is my reaction rant to The Flash Season 3, Episode 11, titled Dead or Alive, which I think is awesome because I like that title in general. It's the title of a song that I love, it's the title of a fighting game I love, so this is why I like that. But anyway, we finally find out who this mysterious lady from the end of episode 10 was. Remember, at the end of episode 10, a mysterious woman from apparently another Earth arrives because she comes through a breach and is apparently looking for HR. We find out from HR that her name is Gypsy. And apparently she's a bounty hunter from HR's world with vibe powers very similar to Cisco's. And she's coming back for HR to bring it back to Earth 19 for apparently a trial and execution, because apparently back at Earth 19, it is forbidden to do dimensional travel. And since HR traveled through dimensions to Earth 1, he has to go back to Earth 19, have a trial, and then apparently the punishment for dimensional travel is execution. So, Gypsy, if you guys don't know, she's legitly in the comics, and when I found out that, Gypsy was casted, I was so happy that someone else from the Justice League is coming in here. And not only that, she's one of the Detroit heroes. And I like the fact that they're bringing more Detroit heroes besides, Vibe is also a Detroit hero. So the fact that they brought in Gypsy, who is another Detroit hero, just gives me happiness and joy. And in the comics, Gypsy, in the comics, her real name is Cynthia Sydney Reynolds, and Gypsy is her hero name. And from what I remember, she was affiliated obviously with the Justice League. We saw her in the Justice League cartoons. And she was also affiliated with Birds of Prey and the Conglomerate or something like that. And in the comics, Gypsy's abilities were illusion casting, precognition, and invisibility. But apparently, in The Flash, that is not her power. But then again, this Gypsy is literally from Earth 19. So for all we know, there could be an Earth 1 Gypsy out there somewhere, but it's not her. This particular Gypsy is not the Gypsy we all know from the comics. I'll bet she has the same name. Her powers literally are identical to Cisco, so I'm guessing Gypsy is literally the Earth 19 version of Vibe. But I'm hoping that Earth 1, they will have their own Gypsy, and she'll have her legitimate comic book powers of illusion casting, precognition, and invisibility, because I always liked Gypsy. She was interesting. But anyway, like in the comics, like I said, Gypsy is part of the JLA Detroit team, because, she's Detroit. Justice League Task Force, and I believe in the New 52, she does appear, but apparently she's no longer a member of the Justice League. In the New 52, Gypsy is seen as one of the captive metahumans imprisoned by Amanda Waller in the government holding facility, and apparently, in the New 52, she is a refugee from an alternate dimension, and she's fleeing Vibe's brother, Rupture, who apparently is a supervillain, and, yeah. I don't know much about her New 52, all I know is that her original stuff, before New 52, she was part of the Justice League, particularly in the Justice League, Detroit, and, she's made a lot of appearances, mainly in the Justice League Unlimited cartoon, as part of the Detroit League teammates besides Vibe and Steel. So, since Vibe and, Gypsy have made an appearance from Justice League Detroit, can we get Steel? Maybe in Supergirl? That would be amazing, please. But anyway, going back to it, Cisco and, Barry find out from, not Gypsy, HR, that the only way to possibly stop Gypsy from taking him, he just says it, briefly, but it does it makes you think, right? Because HR mentions, oh, there's no way you can stop this unless you do, go against her with trial by combat. And Cisco's he makes a face, right? And, as Gypsy's taking HR, Cisco actually says, he demands a trial by combat, and she actually accepts. as he's training, obviously, not very well. Cisco's training is not going very well, and HR, worried for Cisco, asked Barry to help him ambush her before Cisco actually does the trial by combat. Unfortunately, they are easily defeated, and Cisco feels kind of betrayed. It's like, do you not believe in me? Because, if you don't, obviously you guys don't believe in me because you guys tried to ambush and take her out before I did this trial, right? Hang on for a sec, I need a drink. Sorry about that, guys. I really need to drink water because my throat hurts. But anyway, Julian, now officially part of the team, he finds like a strategy for Cisco because he noticed in the last encounter with Gypsy, because she kind of breached her way inside Star Labs. He noticed when Gypsy was fighting everyone that when she does her little attack where she goes through a breach and then opens another one behind you and pretty much vibe blasts you. He noticed that for a brief moment, while her feet is off the ground, she is vulnerable, right? And so he gives that strategy to Cisco, which later on he actually uses it against her, which I think is pretty cool because we actually see Cisco in full costume in his vibe outfit. I was looking forward to seeing that for the longest time. You have no idea how badly I seriously wanted to see that. Hang on, guys. Sorry about that. It's like really windy and dark and cold out. I feel like it's gonna rain. But anyway, we finally see Cisco in his vibe outfit, which I was looking forward to for the longest time. It looks so good on him. Granted, there are some tweaks, but it almost looks completely identical to the outfit he has in the comics, and it just makes me so happy to see. And like I said, Julian gave Cisco a strategy to fight Gypsy, which he uses it and actually defeats her last minute. And Gypsy, being Gypsy's like, you know what? You won the duel. You can keep HR, but it's trial by combat. It's fight to the death, so you have to kill me. But Cisco, being Cisco, rather than killing her, allows her to return back home. And I thought it was funny throughout the whole thing, the moment Gypsy came over up until Cisco, lets her go. There were some flirtatious moments, particularly Cisco, because he's like, oh my gosh, she's beautiful, I love her accent, all that stuff. And people tend to make fun of him for this because he always goes for the bad girl. Remember, he had a thing for Golden Glider, which is Captain Cold's sister, for like the longest time. We even saw a kiss between the two. And now Gypsy. Glorious, Cisco. Seriously. But anyway, since they're allowing her to return back to Earth-19, she says to HR that you can never come back to Earth-19 because I'm going to state to the council that I killed you. Apparently, according to Gypsy, that's the only way she could do it, because if she comes back empty-handed, they're going to think that Gypsy failed, right? And they're just going to keep coming after him, right? So in order for them to, stop, she's going to have to say, oh, I killed him. And since she says that, HR can no longer go back to Earth-19, because if he goes back, obviously they'll be like, Gypsy lied, she didn't kill him, she just failed, right? So, another interesting thing that happened during this episode was the fact that Iris apparently wants to make a legacy for herself, because she fears, yes, they're trying desperately to change her future so she doesn't die, but, she's still getting ready for the inevitable, right? And she's like, you know what? I know you guys are trying. I know there's a good chance you might save me, but just in case there's a chance you can't, I want to make a name for myself. And apparently to do that, she finds out about this arms dealer that's giving, alien, not really alien, but super tech weapons, just like the one in the previous episode. And she wants to pretty much bust this arms dealer, right? And of course, Barry says no, the dad says no. But she manages to persuade Wally to help her bust this arms dealer. And while they're scouting around, she manages to distract him by making him go scout around the building for a bit. And to distract him mainly so she could go confront the dealer herself. And she literally goes up to the guy while he has a gun on her and pretty much lets the gun press against her. It's like, bring it on, shoot me, right? Like, she's not afraid of death. And I'm kind of scared because it's like a death sentence. She literally is. She's being a little too risky with her life, you know? And Wally managed to save her on time, but of course he's pissed off. He's like, what are you trying to do? Are you literally trying to get yourself killed? Which, I understand that she's trying to make a legacy for herself because she's afraid, you know, if she does die, she won't be remembered, you know what I mean? Like, out in the world as something like saving the world like all these heroes. But she's taking a lot of risks trying to put her life in the line of danger. I am just saying. And Joe obviously finds out and he gets uber angry. And he's very suspicious of Iris's fear of... Hey, hang on. Sorry, guys. I swear, I hear things and it's like not normal. But anyway, back where I was saying, Joe gets obviously angry because he finds out about what Wally and Iris did about the arms dealer. And, he's very suspicious throughout the episode about Iris and, of course, her seemingly lack of fear when it comes to death, right? But, of course, he does not know about what, Barry saw about future Iris, her getting killed by Savitar. The only people who know is the rest of the team. Obviously, the only person in the team who doesn't know is Joe. And, no wonder he's suspicious, but he still doesn't know. They don't tell him anything yet. And, Barry, during the episode, also finds out that he may not be fast enough to save Iris. Because as they're looking through the situation, they even build like a little Lego thing of the situation with Iris. And it's like, he has to get to Iris in a certain amount of time, but he's not fast enough. So Barry tells Wally, who is practicing his speed, that Wally may be fast enough to surpass even Barry as a speedster and save his sister from Savitar, because his progression with speed is actually getting higher than Barry, amazingly enough. And so Barry believes because of that, Wally might actually become faster than him, and that might actually help them save Iris. So I can't wait for that. And I really hope Gypsy does come back, because apparently could possibly be a love interest for Cisco. Cisco needs love. He really does. I mean, Golden Glider, Hot Girl, all rejected. Poor Cisco. And I really love the fact that Cisco's doing pretty damn well with his powers. I mean, he's trying to take control, which I love. And, yeah, I really hope that, you know, Barry and Wally could save Iris from Savitar, and I really hope that Caitlin doesn't become Killer Frost. Speaking of Caitlin, I love the small bonding between her and Julian. It's pretty funny. It's like she semi-scolds him for his lack of communication with people, which I thought was pretty freaking hilarious. But anyway, I can't wait for the next episode, episode 12, titled Untouchable. And apparently the 17th episode of Flash will be titled Duet, and it'll actually be a crossover with Supergirl. And not only will it be a crossover, it's going to be a musical crossover, which is awesome because the actress who plays Supergirl and the actor who plays The Flash are both formerly from Glee, which makes it amazing because apparently Music Meister has been casted for this crossover, and it's another alumni of Glee, Darren Criss. Oh, it's a Glee reunion. I can't wait. But anyway, I will see you guys for Legends of Tomorrow, Season 2, Episode 10, titled Legion of Doom. Bye.